We see in less than 45 minutes, you and your family can get into the Discovery Center of Idaho free. It's for 3 hours only. KBOI 2's Nate Larson talked to some people learning all about science and technology today and found out some of the best discoveries happen outside of a lab.
I think that the best way that we all learn is by actually doing and testing things and exploring and having the opportunity to be curious. And so being able to have that be part of my work is really exciting for me.
Every day, workers at Discovery Center of Idaho have one big goal: to help children become interested in science, technology, engineering, and math.
They can touch anything, they can do anything. They've learned the name of fruits and vegetables, they've built stuff, they don't get yelled at for going through things or making duct tape snakes. It's really hands-on.
From creating houses out of blocks to interacting with really cool experiments.
We see that when our families are engaging around an exhibit together going, whoa, and having those moments of discovery that they really share together here at the center.
Families can also make a lot of memories.
They're really safe here, and the volunteers really take an interest in interacting with them, and that's one of my favorite parts.
And kids and parents often learn that some of the best science happens outside of a lab. So no matter what age you might be, there's something fun here for everyone. In Boise, Nate Larson, KBOI 2 News.
That is very cool. Chief Meteorologist Roland Stedham left us today to have some fun at the Discovery Center.
And he joins us now live. Roland, Nate just did one of those cool tricks, you know, where you yank the tablecloth and the dishes all stay in place. I want to see you do that.
Well, Brent, there are all sorts of cool displays that are going on here at the Mythbusters, the explosive exhibition, and it's a lot of hands-on stuff, as the Discovery Center of Idaho is always known for. But what we're seeing here is a display from the show where these are actual props that were used during the making of the show. Let's go back to this coffin here very quickly, Clint. I know it's a little bit ghoulish, but it is kind of that time of the year, right? And the question was, can you survive being buried alive? Well, what they did, it was Adam and Jamie. They took Jamie and they put him inside the coffin and they monitored his CO2 levels in his body to see how dangerous it would be and if you could actually survive being buried alive. And that myth was busted because his oxygen levels, his CO2 levels became to the point where it was getting a little dangerous, where if he would have been left in the coffin much longer, he wouldn't have survived. Then here's the big question: is what happens when the proverbial poop hits the fan? Well, folks, there's the fan that actually got hit during the show. And then here's another thing: how much pressure could a scuba tank hold, and can a scuba tank explode? Well, they filled that scuba tank up to the point where, yes, indeed, it exceeded the maximum pressure, and guess what? It blew up. I have no idea what the rhino poop is about, but there's some rhino poop there, and it's actual rhino poop, but all sorts of really other cool displays that they have. And one of the other things that I loved is right over here, the actual, you've seen the show, then you've seen the actual blueprints where they come together with these ideas, and the question is, what is the myth? For example, this was one right here. I don't know if you can see that, Clint, with that lighting, but the question was, it's a lift test. How many balloons would it take to lift a 44-pound kid into the air? And they figured out that it would take 2,070 balloons. So that was 46 balloons per pound would be required to lift a kid up in the air. And here's the other big one. Are you ready, guys? This is the one that I always remember from when I was a kid in scout camp, going off with the scouting program. And it was this great prank. Let me just kind of straighten this out here. It was this prank right here. I know you've heard about this, Brent, but the camp prank. You got your buddy who's sleeping. You put his hand into a pot of warm water. Would it make him do, number onesies in his sleeping bag? And it was busted. That myth was busted. There's no correlation between putting your hand in warm water and actually having an accident while you're sleeping at night. So there you go. All sorts of cool things that you'll be able to see and participate and hold on to and grab a hold of as you come to the Discovery Center of Idaho. Let's very quickly take a look at what the forecast is looking like, because temperature